Pascal was in over his head in 2020, but Jared wanted to make sure he had his own person as the, quote, campaign manager, so Jared could be the campaign manager. And if you go back and look at all of the stories, they often say Jared Kushner is really running the campaign. But he's got his guy there, Brad Pascal. Brad did a nice job for us in 2016 as our director of data and digital. We were able to, and I always liked Brad personally, we were able to run a lot of ads on social media, Facebook, YouTube, Google. He helped a great deal in doing that when we didn't have the resources to run network ads and cable TV ads like Hillary did, infinitely. But he didn't know how to manage a campaign. He was hardly ever at headquarters in Arlington. All the people who worked there said so. He was there on Tuesdays. I think that was the day that Mike Bender, who was writing a book that Brad thought would be like the big Isn't Brad Great book. That's the day Mike would come on his Vespa and interview Brad for the book, so he was there that day. I think he was a Florida resident, and nice guy in over his head and running a re-election campaign that should have been easy. The economy, all the things that we were doing in the White House, the economy and energy independence and trade deals and deregulation and, you name it, things were moving in a good direction for many Americans. And they said so in the polls, by and large. And then it all changed, and COVID hit. And I think they were always thinking that they can get back to the economy at some point. Just put COVID on an egg timer, the sand will run out, we'll get back to the economy. It doesn't work that way. Politics 101, you don't tell people what's important to them, they tell you. And this was incredibly frightening and important to lots of Americans, including many swing voters, many elderly Americans, many women who were worried about elderly parents that can't leave and can't really work the iPad yet. We're trying to get their doctor visits through telehealth, which we expanded majorly in the Trump administration. They're worried about their kids being out of school. They're worried about their spouse being out of work, themselves, trying to keep it all together. So he just didn't have what it took. And I look at the 2020 Trump re-election campaign as proving the old adage to be true. The fastest way to make a small fortune is to have a very large one and waste most of it. It was their idea to go to Tulsa, Oklahoma on Juneteenth and in the height of COVID and pretend that 1 million people were going to show up to this rally. What? And then they didn't, and make all kinds of excuses and not fly back on the plane. I know all the facts.
Right before